Hello everyone, this is Pamela Patrick and I am coming to you live from Ocala, Florida. So how is everyone doing today? It is Wednesday. We are in August already, August 9th. Man, July flew by. I don't know about you, but tomorrow starts the school year for us here in Marion County, Florida. And I know a lot of Florida counties are starting this week. And so today, are you not seeing the weight loss results that you want to see? Are you struggling to see the results that you want to see? Maybe you thought by this time, it's kind of towards the end of the summer, maybe you thought you would have lost more weight than you have. Maybe you would have lost another size or two. Well, tonight I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you can start seeing those results. If you are new to me, never seen me before, drop the word new in the comment section below and hello to you. If you are watching the replay, type in the word replay. And if you are struggling, this video is for you. All right, so as you're jumping on live or watching the replay, check in and say hello. I do personally check back on all of my comments, so even if you're watching the replay, please comment below. All right, so 3 tips. Consistency is key, okay? You've got to stay consistent. I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to stay consistent, especially if you're struggling to see the results. All right, I've been there, done that. I was struggling at one point, and it's all about consistency. So I'm going to give you 3 tips. Tip number 1 is focus on the healthy habits and not on the results. A lot of times we focus on the scale, we focus on our measurements, but then we're not really focusing on our healthy habits. It's like we want to see the end result, but we're not really focusing on the journey, so to speak, not really focusing on how we're getting there. So for me, this is the most important tip right here out of the 3 I'm going to give you, because we need to become addicted to the habits, to the healthy habits, and not the results. Did you know that it takes 3 weeks, 21 days to build a habit, whatever new habit it might be, okay? It takes 3 weeks between the time we start that habit and actually successfully start to do it, whatever that habit might be, good or bad, right? So in order for you to establish those healthy habits, you got to be consistent with it for 21 days, for 3 weeks. And then it'll start to feel normal for you. It'll start to be, you'll be in the zone, so to speak, and it won't be so much as feeling out of your comfort zone, so to speak, right? Drop a 1 in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. Especially, you can see this when you start to work out, right? It's a struggle. Maybe your cardio's not up and you're huffing and puffing, right, as you're working out. But the more you do it, by the 3rd week, right, 21 days, it's like, oh, I can do this now. I can do this. And you can go and increase it to the next level. So become addicted, a healthy addiction. Become addicted to those healthy habits and not the end results, okay? Because those results will come. And if you're weighing yourself a lot, okay, at the max, weigh yourself once a week. Make sure it's the same time, same day, and same time, okay? Because that will make sure that you're kind of, if you're losing weight or not, all right? Don't weigh yourself every day. Please don't do that, because our weight fluctuates, women. You know what I'm talking about. All right, tip number 2, especially if you have kids that are going back to school either tomorrow or maybe for you it's next month. And if you've not been doing this, I highly suggest that you do. Meal prep, okay? It will save you guys so much stress. Remember, stress adds on the cortisol hormone, which makes us eat more and either gain the weight or keep it, and we won't be able to lose the weight. Meal prep, okay? So with meal prepping, if you're not familiar with it, maybe you've heard about it, what you are going to do is either take 1 day out of the week and meal prep and actually cook the meals that you're going to be eating for that week, or 2 days out of the week and meal prep for half that week. Why? Because when you have that meal already done, especially with kids going to school, and a lot of kids are in those extracurricular activities where you're picking them up from school, taking them, maybe one kid's on this side of town, the other kid's on the other side of town with practice or recitals or whatever it may be, because then you can just quickly take that out of the freezer, out of the fridge, heat it up, and sometimes you're so busy you're eating in the car, right? I know, I've got friends who are in that same situation. They're so busy, it's like they're eating in the car. But what ends up happening if you don't meal prep, you're going to the drive-thru of the local fast food restaurant, right? And even if you get a salad, it's still not the best option because they add sugar to the salad. They do. Why? Because they want you to keep coming back, because sugar is addictive. and they want you to keep coming back and buying their food. So instead of going to the drive-thru every day because your kid's in a lot of after-school activities, and then you're being exhausted. Why? Because you're eating crappy food. You're not giving your body the proper fuel that it needs. So you need to properly fuel your body. So if you haven't done meal prepping before, just Google it. There's also a website called Pinterest. I don't know if you heard about it, but you can get lots of healthy meals off of Pinterest. Facebook is good nowadays for posting a lot of healthy meals, but word of caution though, be careful because a lot of the healthy meals actually have additives and preservatives, meaning they have the artificial sweeteners because they're trying to make it a zero or low calorie meal. The artificial sweeteners and the fat-free alternatives, okay? Fat-free equals more sugar. They add sugar into it, so just be careful. You can still use that recipe. Just be mindful of, you know, the artificial sweeteners and the fat-free alternatives that they do. So meal prep, if you're not familiar with it, Google, okay? Google, I mean, you probably have YouTube. I mean, YouTube has a lot of videos out there nowadays, right? Meal prep. You're going to do one day a week and meal prep for the whole week, and I'm talking about the main meal, dinner. You might want to start doing lunch as well, but at least dinner because it'll save you time in the long run, especially when you have those busy days of the week where you don't have time to cook. You can pull it out of the freezer, thaw, or pull it out of the fridge, cook it up. You got yourself a nice healthy meal, okay? Tip number 3 is your calendar, okay? I know our smartphones nowadays have calendars in them. I use mine for notifications, just remind me of things, but you just might need to get yourself your good old-fashioned calendar where you have each day of the week and you have what you're going to be doing for the week established, okay? And stay on the schedule, especially if you have kids, you know, going back to school. Stay with the schedule. Having a schedule is going to save you so much time in the long run and a lot of stress. A lot of people who don't go off of a calendar or a schedule, they don't realize how much time, and I'm not necessarily talking about length of time something takes them, but even short of time, right? They don't realize it takes them 30 minutes to drive from point A to point B, so that by the end of the day, they're thinking, man, I didn't get a lot accomplished. Well, no wonder, because you were in the car a lot and you didn't realize how much time things were taking you, right? So what I literally do is Sunday, I plan out my week. But then the night before, I look at my calendar and I put down what I want to achieve. For you, it might be I need to take, you know, one kid over here for practice, another kid over here for whatever it may be. I need to meal prep whatever day this week, right, that you're going to be doing it. Working out, if you don't schedule your workouts, especially now the school year upon you, you most likely will not get it in. Schedule it in and stick to that schedule so you can get your workout and your alone time, your me time, right? You know, away from the kids, into your schedule. Now, what I do is I make my list and I call it to achieve. There's something about the word achieve that the brain automatically starts thinking of ways to accomplish that goal. If you just put the word to do, it doesn't really activate the brain as much. The word achieve. So I put my to achieve list, and actually I just use little post-it notes and I just have what I want to achieve for that day. And then what is actually listed here is the length of time it took me to do that. And I'm a type A personality, that's just how I roll. So actually each part of my life, finances, personal, gym time is a different color that you'll notice in here. Business is a different color, job's a different color. Now, I put that time in when I've finished that goal. I've accomplished it. Why? Because I want to see how long it's taken me, especially if I'm starting to do a new habit, starting, you know, a new workout program. Maybe it's in a different part of town, because I want to physically see at the end of the week how long it's taken me to do things. And you might find, at least for me, that it's taken me a little bit longer to get to my new trainer than I thought it would, because traffic at that time is a little bit more than I thought it would be, so that you can see at a glance how long things are going to be taking you, so that you're not so stressed at the end of the week. I suggest you do this for at least the first 2 weeks, especially with school, because you know, you'll know why it's taking you that long, because hey, it might be the drive, or it might be, you know, practice was supposed to get out at 8:30, but the coaches are actually keeping them until 9, right? So that you know ahead of time that, hey, do you need to warm up the food and actually have the kids eat in the car while you're taking them to their next activity, or do you have a time that at the end of those activities you can actually come back home and eat your meal as a family, right? At least do this for the next 2 weeks so that you know how long it's going to take you to do some things, and you might need to rearrange some things, okay? You know, based on your children's homework, maybe, you know, they're in a tougher class this year. I mean, homework a lot of days can take a lot of time, right, for some kids, and you might need to, by the way, here's another tip for you guys. When you have that homework time established for your kids, make it a time for you and your significant other to not to ditch the cell phones, right? It's your time with the kids, A lot of times they need help with their homework, and that's that personal time with you and your kids. I know of a lot of successful women who that's what they do, right? That's their, get the cell phones out, turn them off. This is your time with the kids to help them and to be with them. And that the kids will enjoy it. Even if they're in middle school and they're giving you that attitude, trust me, they remember those times, okay? So schedule in your times for at least 2 weeks. That way you know how long it's taking you to do something so you're not so stressed about it, okay? So the first tip was focus on the healthy habits, become addicted to the healthy habits and not the results. Number 2 is meal prep, okay? Either 1 day out of the week or 2 days out of the week for half of the week to meal prep, to get those meals cooked and ready to go, so you can just pull it out of the fridge or out of the freezer and you've got yourself a nice healthy meal and not stressing about what you need to cook. Pinterest is a good idea to get all of your meal prepping ideas about foods, healthy foods to cook and to have on hand, as well as Facebook nowadays. There's a lot of pages out there with lots of healthy recipes. I have some on my blog as well. And then the third one is your calendar. Yes, you can use your smartphone, but get yourself a little manual, pen and paper, right? And write down what you need to achieve for the day. And then also how long it's actually taking you to do those activities so that you can appropriately plan for the next week and the next week. And then once you have those 2 weeks established, you know how long it's going to take you to do things, and then you're not so stressed about not able to get some other things in that you wanted to get done. Maybe you couldn't finish your laundry, right? Maybe you couldn't finish cleaning your house. Well, why? Because it took you longer for the kids' activities than you thought it would, and you won't be feeling so stressed, all right? If you found this helpful, please share or tag someone in the comment section below. And for more tips, you can also go to my blog. Have a great night, everyone. To your health.